I've opened 2 bars. Like, how hard can it be?
Oh, yeah.
But so, like, I bought, like, a business license and, like, did this LLC and ran out there as the best in my price range and the dude who owned the most cocktail books per square foot, like, in the area.
Yeah, right?
And just kind of, like, banked on that for a little while. Now more what it is, like, it's the umbrella I use for, like, I do some cocktail writing for Distinction Magazine. I do, like, the odd consult for people, like, when they're opening and they just need help with, like, bar layouts or, like, costing, because, again, like, I've had an amazing network of mentors who have taught me a lot about how to, like, make a bar program be awesome and, like, give good things to your guests, but also work on the back end, like,
making money.
Financial,
make it efficient. Yeah,
because
you gotta make money.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Like,
keep the lights on.
Yeah. We want to keep the guests coming in, but also the paychecks not bouncing.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And then it's since become just kind of an umbrella for everything I do that isn't me standing behind a bar for someone else.
Yeah.
So, like, I run an Instagram, Model Citizen Cocktails, separated by underscores. Slide into my DMs if you have cocktail recipe questions, if you need liquors, like, store recommendations, anything, I'm here for that. And then is mostly this pop-up that I run at Crudo the last Sunday of every month. Eric's been really cool about letting me run a very cocktail-focused situation where, like, as we all know, Virginia, you have to have, like, your food to liquor ratio.
Yeah.
Basically, once a month I get to coast on the positive
their
ratio that Crudo has. Yeah. And we have food, too, because, 1, you have to, and 2, like, no one wants to drink and not have snacks.
Right.
But that's when I get to do kind of, like, a little more experimental, like, a little more avant-garde. Last night was one, which I'm so glad this was at 2 and not 11.
Yeah.
Oh, the life of a bartender.
Yeah, but, you know, we had, like, a cocktail on that was based on, like, elotes, you know, like the Mexican street food. So it was, like, tequila reposado,
awesome.
lime juice. The glass was rimmed with tajin. And then there was, like, a buttered sweet corn simple syrup.
See, that's
That
the
was
shit.
so
That's the shit that
we're
we're
talking
talking
about.
about. That's what I'm talking about.
That's like next. That, I mean, but that's such to like the cuisine that was happening. Is
Sure.
that correct? Yeah, and that is awesome. Just pairing things like that and making like it also cohesive that's fun. And for me, that's just fun.
But it's also doing it fast. And I think that's another area where, like, the bartender thing comes in. Because, like, talking about, like, 5 and 6 minute drinks, like, that is abhorrent to me. Like, that just, like, burns my soul.
I'm over it.
And depending
I'm over
on,
it.
you know, the restaurant that you have.
Yeah.
That's not feasible.
No, nightmarish.
You can't do that.
Yeah. And so, I mean, to make that syrup, you had to, like, roast a bunch of corn, separate the corn from the cobs, like, boil the cobs in water, like, turn that cob water into simple syrup, blend it in with the corn, and then, like, melt butter into it, then freeze off the butter and do all this stuff. But guess what? We did all that shit during prep hours, your drink still takes 40 seconds.
Yep.
Right.
It's all, you know, and the thing is, this goes with, like, the pop-ups. I know, I'm so bad with the microphone.
But that's really why I'm on this right here. I'm just here to pivot the microphone head.
So,
Old Pivot Steve.
So, but the prep work, I mean, and this goes with life, it goes with the pop-ups, you know what I mean? I even know, like, just from doing pop-ups myself, it's like, I'm in the kitchen for a day and a half, 2 days before I do a pop-up, and then everything comes out, well, the first one everything came out in an hour, but that was a whole other story, but the thing is like, everything comes out in a fast amount of time because you did all that prep work. I don't know how long it took to make that simple syrup, but probably like a couple hours maybe, or
I mean, like, probably an hour and a half of working time, and then like overnight in the fridge and stuff like that. But you have to, like, think about it. You have to, like, put in a little effort. You have to, like, plan for things.
create
you know?
systems. That's awesome. Could I set something up for him?
You talking about
What are you going to talk about?
So
John?
So before, guys, this is a. What do you?
I was just going to say, I am thrilled with today's episode because I have not had a chance to partake and enjoy one of my favorite tequilas that I was introduced to while I was in San Diego, which is Fortaleza. But I'm not going to talk about this because Josh is way more knowledgeable. And I would love for him to take this over. But thank you so much for bringing this in because this is phenomenal. One of my favorite tequilas. I'm a tequila man, but I'm going to let you take. Hey, oh, God.
That's why I have this. Is that a pineapple tattoo?
Yeah. I love that. So Josh, you brought in this Fortaleza, right, Steve? As I've heard from Steve now multiple times because he loves this shit.
I do love this shit.
Can you just give talking about this tequila, man?
So Fortaleza has been like a weird, like very intersectional part of my career kind of the entire time. So like talking about like finding mentors and like getting into that, actually the first person to like really give me some help was while I was like living in St. Thomas, like running a jewelry store and like really just doing cocktails as like a hobby. Reading all these articles, and I found this dude who ran a consulting company in the Bay Area. Do you know Adam Semler?
No.
Fair enough. They're faraway cities. It's like, all Canadians know each other, so I thought all Californians did too.
Oh, no, yeah, seriously, right?
But, I read an article with this dude, and I'm like, God, this guy's, like, cool as shit. He just, like, goes and opens a bar and sets it up and then trains people and goes and opens another. Like, that's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And so I sent him an email.
Patrick Swayze, Roadhouse.
Yeah. He's the Roadhouse bartender. And so I sent him an email, and in brief, it was kind of like, hey, I don't want this to sound creepy, but I want to be you when I grow up, so how do I do that?
Good for you. Yeah, whatever.
And
And
it took him some weeks to like get back to me, but he's like, hey man, he's like, no one's ever asked me that. That's really cool. I talked to a bunch of my friends, and here are the books we wish we read. Here's like all the things that we wish we knew, like when we were starting out. Like, good luck. Call me if you need anything. And at the time, he was a brand ambassador for Fortaleza. First Tales 2014. I got there the day before and was like taking a test kind of thing. And then he came in that night, and that was the first time we'd actually gotten to meet in person. Oh, cool. After him, like, helping me open Twist, like, being on the phone, like, spending a ton of time, like, just investing and helping me out kind of for no other reason other than, like, he had the resources and he could.
Man, that's cool.
And so one of my favorite don't rememberies is apparently he landed and was like, we're going to this
just
party.
Start recording all this.
Come meet me
writing
here.
it down. Your one-liners. God, I'm sorry. Keep going.
I tried. So apparently, for like the better part of one of these parties, I had him in a headlock and was like buying Fernet for him and me and whoever would listen to like, I owe my entire job to this guy and he's amazing and he's wonderful. And then he introduced me to the team at Fortaleza. And like it was my favorite tequila before I got to work with them. I have a wonderful memory of like being in the like lobby of the Hotel Monteleone, which was the like kind of main base for Tales. And Adam just walked up to me and like pushed a flask into my chest and was like, "Shut up, drink that." I'm like, "Okay." And I was like, "Wow, what is that?" And he's like, "That's still strength." He's like, "I pulled that off the still at Fortaleza 5 days ago."
Oh no shit!
And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, that's amazing.
That's awesome.
Now we produce a still strength that's bottled, and it's unbelievable. But yeah, that's when I like got to meet all the team. They invited me down to Mexico to do a work program with them. So me and 2 other people spent a week doing like full 8-hour work days, like in every aspect of tequila production.
So sick.
So like I've been out there being really embarrassingly bad at harvesting agave.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you attempted. That's all that matters.
It's the Jimadores, like the guys who like actually do that as their job, were incredibly gracious and patient as we're like sitting here, because it's like a circular blade on like a shovel handle.
Yeah.
And you're using that to like knock off these like giant spines. It's exhausting. You have to like break it in half and flip it out. Yeah.
Yeah, they're huge.
They're like 40, 50 pounds each.
So I love that the top of the bottle is actually the
Yeah.
cut,
Yeah, exactly.
the idea of the cut agave plant.
Yeah, and what's wild is like these are made by hand. So that was our second to last day was making corks. And so we've got like this team of ladies who they just kind of like tape up their fingers, and it's like these, and they're painted green, and then all of the white part is like done with a belt sander. So there's like an upside down belt sander running, and they're just like psh, 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 psh,
And making the white part.
yeah.
Flawless.
Flawless every time. Do you know who wasn't flawless? The 3 of us.
The gringos.
We were terrible at it. But yeah, and then I came back, and they've since like let me do some work for them in like DC and Pennsylvania. And it's awesome because with a couple of exceptions, most of the things we do, like I genuinely believe that's like the best tequila in the room. And it's really exciting to talk about. They are you familiar with like a small family-owned brand called Sauza?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said small family brand.
Yeah. So the kind of cool story behind this product is Guillermo Salza is like the boss, like the owner. His grandfather, Francisco Javier Salza, sold off like the Salza name and like 2 of their big distilleries in like the 70s. So the Salza company has been removed from the family since like the mid 70s. Even though like his great-great-grandfather, like 5 generations back, was like one of the first people to bring tequila into the United States, like back when it was still like Mexican whiskey.
Ooh, Mexican whiskey.
Yeah.
I like that name.
Which Mexico makes good whiskey and rum actually nowadays. But it's like very common in tequila to like name your distillery something. So like Jose Cuervo, their distillery is called like La Roeña. It's the Raven. There are like some other ones, but the Salsa distilleries were named after like family attributes. So the ones that got sold off were Constancia and Perseverancia. So consistency, Perseverancia. What they held on to was this like tiny little distillery called Fortaleza, or like Fortitude. And that operated as a museum for a long time because it's so like snapshot of like how tequila was made like 150 years ago.
Oh, that's cool.
It's
Right
awesome.
on.
And it's like just this one warehouse. There's like one Tajona, which is like this big stone wheel that they use to like crush the agave fibers. Like they're all oven roasted. Like there's 2 pot stills and like that's it. Like wood fermentation tanks. It's like...
I'm picturing a promotional video for this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so they're
Come down
using
there, man.
all the old equipment.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
They reopened because
Can we shoot
Guillermo...
a fucking podcast there? I'm down.
I mean, I'm
Let's
serious.
call it.
Why not?
Yeah.
I am...
Next
talk-
season.
That's one of the few places in the world where I'm like that warmly welcomed. So,
I'll talk to Romeo and see if you guys want to come.
hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's super cool. So he started this company like kind of as a tribute to his grandfathers. So in Mexico, the label is called Los Abuelos. And like it says like on the label, it's like abuelo, tatarabuelo, bisabuelo, because those are like the ancestors that did it, right? We're named after the distillery in the States because of Ron Abuelo, who make a less good rum than we make tequila. Hot take. But what's really cool is if you get a bottle and you take the label off, the Los Abuelos label is screen printed on every bottle of Fortaleza because Guillermo was like, nah, damn it, like that's what it's called, like that's what we're doing.
So
Go out and get a
So
bottle.
underneath that label, there's the...
There's a screen print on the bottle
that's great.
of like, so yeah, it's just kind of like the skeleton.
Yeah.
But instead of Fortaleza, it says Los Abuelos.
I love it.
If you want to see it, go get yourself a bottle.
But go to DC because don't buy it in Virginia because it's too expensive. Thanks, ABC.
Can I do a kind of...
for
Man, I'm putting you you're in the hot seat today, Josh.
Okay, I'm
but
here for
I
it.
love it though. I just want to bring this point up. I think this point's going to be brought up a few times, especially from some of the guests that we have coming in after Josh. John Tapper, Bar Rescue. What's your opinion about John Tapper?
Bar Rescue is my favorite Diageo infomercial.
Okay.
I know some people who have been like the consulting mixologist on that show.
Okay.
It was earlier on. I think they are fabulous.
Right.
I think any dude who says mezcal is made from mescaline and in the same sentence will preach about a butt funnel should... I don't know. It sounds like he's got a marriage counseling show coming up.
Yeah, he does. No, it's official.
I hope.
Yes.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it's
I
official,
hope
yeah.
that. I hope he's better at that
Then Bar
than
Rescue.
he is at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's like, I get that shit all. Like when I'm going in consult, they're like, "Oh, you're like Bar Rescue, right?" And I'm
Right.
like, "Yeah, sort of." Except like, I'm not gonna yell at you, and like, I kind of know what I'm doing.
Yeah, so and the reason I bring it up is because people do talk about that. Like, they always go like, "Oh, Bar Rescue, it's the greatest show."
yeah.
Like when they talk about bartending, the sad thing is that now because of the name of the show and the popularity and how many like 100 episodes of this thing, it's now been paired to bartending. And for my opinion, I'll be 100% honest. I think he's got some ideas with logistics, but at the end of the day, he's just an asshole.
Well,
he's just like
He comes from a management perspective, though. You know what I mean? It's not like in the trenches like bartender from the episodes that I've seen of it.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
so like, we've all managed bars.
Yeah.
And I think can all agree that one of the most important aspects of management is finding someone who's good at something and letting them do it.
Yeah.
Like he's like the micro macro manager.
Thank you.
Well, And that's what I was just gonna say. I was like, I mean, how many times have you watched the show where you're like,